Hi there, you're at the Solana Wyckoff technical analysis session. So we'll quickly take a look at where Solana is heading while it has been facing some significant resistance. So in the weekly chart, we see this very long wick over here for this week's candle. It's exhibiting similar behavior that happened back in late July, that when the price got to got to close to the blue key level at around $210, it received sufficient or significant selling at that point. This for the bulls may not be good news because this box, let me change this to light blue because I've been using light blue in other analysis earlier. So this upward channel over here, where the prices found resistance, has been below this upward channel. So if the demand is strong enough, this wick would have go all the way higher, touching the ceiling of the upward channel, instead of doing what it is now. So the upward channel may not be as deep as originally thought, so we have to adjust according to the wicks, the latest two wicks over there. So the trajectory is more like this as of this moment. So here, let me just adjust this a little. So what we have here is basically saying the price is still within the upward trend, but then this week's candle isn't getting very close to the ceiling of this upward trend. Not saying that it won't retest it, like go above this blue key level at 210, but it's getting more difficult. That's what I want to say, because this volume bar over here, that's higher than almost double the previous 2 weeks, includes a very significant selling element over here, this long wick at the top. So for the bulls, they need a bigger force in order to win this battle, to push above the blue line in order to test or challenge the purple and set potentially upthrust after distribution mark over there. For the bears, it's a bit tricky now because the price, while there were significant selling at the top over here near 210, the price also shows sufficient support at this light blue key level at 180. This is a level set by the previous LPSYs over here, as well as the sign of weakness, plus some second test and automatic reaction earlier in 2024. So it's not that easy to break below the support because there are so many reference points or reference price points over there. So a likely scenario, if you ask, would be trading sideways between 180 to 210. Of course, it can touch down a little bit, just like this week or like the previous 4 weeks. But then the top is the tougher part because it hasn't been able to do it this week, even though there was some pretty good momentum started from last week. So it's getting trickier if it wants to try next week, because there has to be reason or some good news for people to leverage in order to put the price higher. So I'll keep this tag, the UTAD tag over here, while we have this sign of weakness that may be on its way. So to the micro daily view, last week we put in and asked, is this an LPSY, like the bounce from the sign of weakness? Instead of an LPSY, it came as a second test. I won't put in an upthrust because even though the wick is higher than the buying climax, it did not close above it. So basically the price closed for both days, Wednesday and Thursday, below the buying climax. So I will only consider this a second test. So one more thing I want to check is the Bollinger Band's current squeeze. There's currently no squeeze, but the bars or the orange lines and the purple boundaries aren't too far apart compared to what happened back in late July. So any horizontal or sideways trading in the coming few days between now and our next session may trigger a squeeze, and when that happens, that may be the time where a sign of weakness will show up for the bearish scenario. For the bullish scenario, if it really traded narrow and found support at this light blue key level, that's when it's going to test this deeper blue at the top, the 210 that we talk about in the weekly chart. So if that happens, that means there's a higher LPSY, but not yet to the purple level where an upwards after distribution would happen. It has to find even higher force for that to appear, and if that happens, that will be an upwards in the daily time frame. So there's still a chance for that to happen, just that when we look at the volume bars over the past few days, it's not like a well-paved road. Let me put it this way. It's not a well-paved road ahead, seeing these selling as well as these long wicks at the top. So be cautious. While it may trade sideways, there's a chance that it comes down to show us a sign of weakness, not necessarily all the way to the green level. It may be somewhere between the green and this yellow dashed line, much like what happened in the beginning of the month, before it banks up for the upthrust if there are really good news to leverage. So that's pretty much it for